Make up mind. Fight.
Super Mario Sunshine is the textbook definition of a vibes game. Sure, its missions can be frustrating, its lack of polish can be polarizing, and its overall gameplay is a notch or two below what's typically expected of a mainline 3D Mario platformer, but when I think of Super Mario Sunshine, those things are not what are popping into my head. When I imagine this game, I'm thinking of its gorgeous, serene tropical aesthetics, its lovely music, and its overall unmatched sense of summertime lovin' that the game exudes. Mario Sunshine is a game all about Mario and co taking a relaxing tropical vacation, and to that end, in this video, I want to try and figure out which of its locales would be the best for that purpose in real life. We're gonna match each of Sunshine's 7 core environments against each other, and try and figure out exactly which one I'd most like to take an extended trip at in real life, just to get away from it all. The main factors we're weighing here to determine this are how aesthetically appealing an area is, how safe or livable it is, how much fun you could have there on a vacation, and more niche things like how much lodging is available, or just how nice its vibes are. We're going to be assuming each of these vacation spots exist after the events of Super Mario Sunshine, so things like Goop and Shadow Mario's influence will not be considered. We're going to be rating these levels on a scale from 1 to 10 based on how vacational they are, and then ranking them against each other at the very end of the video. Also, we're going to be ignoring Delfino Plaza for this discussion, as it would handily clear everything else in the game if we didn't. All that said, let's take a trip to the sun-drenched tropical paradise of Isle Delfino and find our ideal vacation spot.
The vacation starts now.
Here we go.
Starting us out is the first proper level in the game, being Bianco Hills. Right out of the gate, this rolling green countryside and its associated windmill village pose a few unique advantages and disadvantages for our purposes here. Starting with positives, Bianco Hills is an absolutely beautiful locale. It just exudes serenity and untouched calm, like a peaceful pocket dimension unbothered by the outside world. The windmill village seems like it would just be the perfect 70-degree Fahrenheit temperature, with a nice gentle breeze flowing through the air, and the lovely natural sounds of the nearby stream lulling you to sleep in a nice windswept hammock. And when you're done with that, you could take a nice walk by the nearby lake, taking in the sights and serenity of this natural environment. Plus, considering that the game explicitly makes a level out of the lake becoming dirty, suggesting that this is abnormal, it can be assumed that the lake's natural state is totally clean and safe for swimming as well. Additionally, lodging would not be an issue, as Bianco Hills is home to quite a few proper residential houses and buildings. Tourism might pose a threat to an area like this in the real world, but this is a funny video game land, so who cares? That's not to say Bianco Hills would be a completely flawless vacation destination, however, as it does have quite a few unique shortcomings as far as this discussion is concerned. For one, while the windmill village and adjacent lakefront are very beautiful, they're also pretty limited in terms of things to actually do, offering 0 notable activities or sights to see once you've exhausted the immediate splendor of the lake and the big windmill. This would be a very sedentary vacation, which is either a good thing or a bad thing depending on your preferences. On top of this, the entire area being composed of hills and mountains would make routine navigation pretty tiresome during an extended stay. Plus, while its natural vibe is certainly pretty, it also means that Bianco Hills contains a few uninhibited wild creatures that could really throw a dent in your relaxation. The Pokies, the Skeeters, the Poinks, the Blue Pokies that spit up dirt, these guys wouldn't be much of a threat to your immediate safety, but I can imagine that they would be pretty obnoxious to shoo away or have to avoid when you're trying to relax or take a nice dip in the lake. But all things considered, Bianco Hills makes a strong first impression for this video, with its untouched natural beauty, calm countryside atmosphere, and comfortable climate mostly offsetting its relative lack of notable activities, and even its local fauna just kind of being mildly annoying at the very worst. I'm gonna give this place an 8 out of 10 on the vacation scale.
Here we go.
Next up is Ricko Harbor, an area that's probably one of the least well-suited to vacationing out of every main locale in Mario Sunshine. In a game primarily set in lush, indulgent tropical havens, it really can't go overstated just how strange it is that its second level is just a straight-up shipping harbor. A bustling shipping harbor at that, one filled to burst with active workers, construction equipment, clubbed bloopers, and an overall incredibly industrial vibe by this game's standards. I can imagine that this is the main business district of Isle Delfino, the place where most of what's imported imported and exported from this island comes through, and that, combined with the overall lack of lodging, entertainment activities, or really anything for civilians or pedestrians to do, makes this an easy loser for the video. There are what we can assume are apartments or houses, but call it a hunch that these are neither luxurious nor relaxing. To be fair though, Ricko Harbor is not meant to be a vacation destination. It is an active place of industry and commerce with its own separate purpose, so going here to relax on vacation would be like going to New York for one and ending up on Wall Street. Still though, if you were visiting Isle Delfino for a vacation, I can't imagine that you would want to spend much time in Ricko Harbor. This guy seems to be enjoying himself though, good for him. That's a 3 out of 10 on the vacation scale.
Here we go.
Third up is my personal happy place, Gelato Beach. This is just one of the prettiest goddamn beaches in video game history. Like, it's right up there with Destiny Islands from Kingdom Hearts. This is one of the beachiest beaches that's ever beached off. It's got a gorgeous, crisp, and clear sea, complete with a coral reef and a nearby swing for swimming and cannonballs, a clean and shimmering sandy beachfront, a cabana for chilling when you've had enough of the sun, a snack bar, a large amphitheater that oversees the entire beach, and an overall lovely tropical vibe. Gelato Beach feels like exactly the kind of place we think of when we imagine getting away for it all. Just a picturesque idea of paradise. The platonic ideal of a vacation. This is the kind of place Dutch and the gang would have stayed at if everything worked out alright. It's also rich in things to actually do, as the snack bar hosts watermelon festivals, the amphitheater acts as a hub for races, and the enigmatic sandbird egg makes for a wonderful sightseeing opportunity. The only two problems I can visualize for Gelato Beach are the presence of wild fauna and the complete lack of lodging. The beach is covered in cataquacks, which, unlike the enemies in Bianco Hills, actually could mess you up real bad. The sandbird egg is also a hub for invasive species, most notably plungellos and the much more dangerous giant wiggler on Wednesdays. On a day without any of those creatures being around, you could have a lovely time at Gelato Beach, but your success would be very dependent on climate and season and what animals showed up on any given day. It's like going on a beach in Australia or New Zealand and just having to worry about instant kill jellyfish being on the shoreline. As for lodging, the lack of any notable housing or accommodations makes actually staying at Gelato Beach more of a hassle than it'd probably be worth, so this is the kind of place you'd visit on a vacation rather than spending your entire trip at. For our purposes, that's kind of a letdown. Still though, Gelato Beach is exactly what I imagine when I think of a tropical paradise, and had it not been for the multiple invasive species that call this place home, and the lack of places to sleep, it'd be a clear standout for this video. Again, I'd love to visit Gelato Beach, but would probably not want to stay exclusively here on an extended trip. That'll be a 7 out of 10 on the vacation scale. Get out your magic bands and fast passes because it's time for Pinnip Park. This bustling entertainment wonderland is easily the most industrialized and capitalistic vacation spot in Isle Delfino, rejecting the rest of the island's natural beauty in favor of a much more realistic type of island getaway. And to its credit, Pinnip Park definitely does seem fun. While its ride selection may seem limited for a dedicated theme park, and these electric Koopas walking around uninhibited could definitely goof you up, it's also made clear through both dialogue and the mission variety that this level's attractions are home to a wide variety of activities, including simple rides, games, and challenges, and even full-on shows and performances. Plus, the actual attractions aren't that slim in number. It's almost like a local carnival or field days. You've got the Ferris wheel, the Yoshi go-round, the pirate ship, several separate jungle gyms and climbing mazes, the clam cups, and the roller coaster. For a relatively small locale, Pinnip Park makes great use of its space to cram every nook and cranny with something to do. And that's not mentioning the 2 separate pools and the completely accessible, if somewhat small, beach that's also connected directly to the park. You might have to deal with stews though. Still though, as far as finding things to do goes, Pinnip Park, befitting of its role as a theme park, probably has the widest variety on offer out of all of Isle Delfino's locales. Add on to this its bubbly, candy-coated aesthetic and its enthusiastic staff, and you've got multiple days of fun awaiting you here on a vacation. That said, Pinnip Park definitely isn't perfect, and my gripes with it mostly come down to its vibes and very unique lodging situation. As far as the first one goes, Pinnip Park is bubbly and fun, but just like an extended stay at a real Disney park, I can imagine that it might become pretty exhausting after a while. It'd be very exciting at first, but this seems like the kind of place where the constant focus on high energy fun can really wear out its welcome and leave you pretty burnt out by the end of your stay. If you've ever spent more than a day at a Disney park, then you'll probably understand what I'm talking about. Additionally, as far as I can tell, Pinnip Park has no actual resorts, hotels, or accommodations for its guests. You might think you just stay somewhere else on Isle Delfino and visit the park, but the thing is, Pinnip Park isn't actually part of Isle Delfino's landmass. It's on an entirely separate nearby island that Mario has to shoot himself out of a cannon to access, and other visitors have to take a boat for. So if you wanted to lodge at, say, Delfino Plaza and just travel here every day, you'd have to hop landmasses every time you wanted to go to and from. It's definitely possible, and I'm sure that there are vacation spots in the real world where people do this, but part of me wonders if the juice is really worth the squeeze in this specific case. Overall, Pinnip Park is very much a theme park with all of the expected positives and negatives, plus some unique ones. It's rich in activities and things to do, with a very fun atmosphere to boot, yet would undoubtedly get exhausting with prolonged exposure, and uniquely lacks anything other than pure entertainment for its guests. No food, no hotels or places to stay, nothing but pastel theme park fun. And that fun only goes as far as your tolerance for it. Because of this, I'm giving Pinnip Park a tentative 6 on the vacation scale. It's another place I'd like to visit rather than stay at, but its unique lodging situation makes it a bit more annoying than I'd like for that purpose. Next up is a surprise sleeper winner for this video, Serena Beach. This is probably my least favorite level in the game in a traditional gameplay sense, so it kind of caught me off guard when I realized that this is basically the perfect Mario Sunshine vacation spot. After Mario is done saving the day and Hotel Delfino is clear of ghosts, there's pretty much nothing wrong with this place. It's got a lovely beach with an equally lovely sunset atmosphere every night, very comfortable lodging by virtue of being a dedicated 4-star hotel, plenty of activities in the form of the beach as well as the hotel's built-in pool and casino, a wide variety of rooms, plenty of food thanks to the lobby snack bar and its in-game description mentioning romantic dinners, bathrooms, which is huge for a Mario level, and no real safety threats or enemies due to booze and the Phantom Manta only existing during Bowser Jr.'s tenure on the island. By all accounts, Serena Beach and Hotel Delfino are like the only areas in the game outside of Delfino Plaza that could realistically function entirely as standalone self-sufficient vacation destinations. They've got everything they need to provide a cozy, all-inclusive guest experience. Plus, Pinnip Park is right off of its coast, making for an easy twofer of entertainment for your money. I can easily imagine the Isle Delfino vacation package coming with a special tier where you get admission to both the hotel and Pinnip Park. Again, there's really nothing wrong with Serena Beach as a vacation destination. You could feasibly spend an entire week-long trip here and comfortably get your money out of it. It's so good that Mario and Peach even visit it during the ending cutscene. Again, this all surprised me because Serena Beach is very much my least favorite level in Mario Sunshine to actually play through, but for the purposes of a vacation, I've got to give it a 10 out of 10. Second to last for this video is Noki Bay, an interesting little pit stop for our purposes, as not unlike Ricko Harbor, this place kind of isn't meant at all to be a vacation spot. Noki Bay is the history-rich and culturally significant ancestral home of the Nokis, and is designed to be naturalistic and remote. It's not meant to be accommodating to tourists or a place that you would want to stay as an outsider. Rather, it's meant to be a place of deep cultural importance that you respect and admire from a distance without stepping on its rich history and untouched beauty. To this end, it has absolutely nothing in the ways of pretty much anything you'd want on a vacation. No hotels or places to stay, no activities, no food, no tourist traps. It is, from top to bottom, an area that's rich in culture and local history, which should be respected. There's barely even anywhere to walk. Noki Bay is mostly water, with steep cliffs that extend vertically. Due to the intentional lack of accommodations, and this area's deep and rich history making it kind of gross to even imagine dolling it up and making a tourist trap out of it, I'm gonna go ahead and give Noki Bay a respectful 1 out of 10 on the vacation scale. This is not a shot at the area, by the way. It's clearly doing its own thing that has nothing to do with what we're doing here. I respect it 100%. Also, I know this is just a level in a video game and doesn't genuinely have any real history, but to be completely honest, a recent live-action Disney remake that came out has me really annoyed at the concept of gentrifying culturally rich tropical areas, and I don't want to imagine that kind of thing happening to this cool Mario level. Let's move on. And lastly for this video is Piana Village, a level that shares a lot of overlap with Noki Bay as an area on Mario Sunshine, yet is just slightly better off for the purposes of vacationing. Not unlike Noki Bay, it's also the ancestral home of one of the game's core original groups of characters, this time being the Piantas, yet unlike Noki Bay, is much more open to being visited. Piana Village is home to several comfortable novelties, including a hot springs, competitive racing, and an elaborate fluff festival, yet its biggest obstacles as a vacation spot are its physical layout and location. Piana Village rests far above the rest of Isle Delfino on the top of a large tree, and it doesn't really feature much in terms of proper buildings, infrastructure, or modern luxuries. It's more livable than Noki Bay for an outsider, yet isn't nearly as tourism-oriented or industrialized as the rest of Isle Delfino. This, combined with the danger of actually visiting this place due to its physical placement and the presence of flaming goddamn chain chomps as fauna, make it really ill-suited to an extended leisure stay. While the hot springs or the fluff festival might be fun, you can probably get similar or equally fun experiences out of much easier to access, much more accommodating places on Isle Delfino. Piana Village strikes me as the kind of place that would be interesting to pass through or spend the night at on a more transient vacation, yet is absolutely not the kind of place that you would want to spend an entire extended trip at. It's more appropriate and welcoming to stay at than Noki Bay, and due to being a residential area, it also beats Ricko Harbor, but I'm only gonna give it a 4 out of 10 on the vacation scale either way. So our definitive Mario Sunshine vacation rankings are as follows. And last place is Noki Bay due to its cultural significance and deliberate lack of accommodations, making it pretty much the opposite of a tourist destination. Sixth up is Ricko Harbor, an industrial port that makes you think of anything but relaxation. After that is Piana Village, more comfortable and livable than the previous two, but easily the least feasible as a pure leisure destination on the island. After that is Pinnip Park, a bustling tourist trap that's only hurt by its hectic energy and lack of accommodation. Following that is Gelato Beach in a similar position as Pinnip Park, just with a more serene, pleasant vibe. Our runner-up is Bianco Hills, a lovely, calm, and peaceful countryside that's only issue is a lack of things to do. And our true, objective, best Super Mario Sunshine vacation destination is Serena Beach. It's a beach, it's a 4-star hotel, it's a casino, it's got bathrooms. What more could a prospective tropical vacationer ask for? Well, it doesn't matter anyways, because Delfino Plaza clears all of these. Either way, this was a fun little thought experiment. This video started out as a pure ranking of every level in Mario Sunshine just across a gameplay and aesthetic basis that I tried to work on and off on for about a month, but I ended up scrapping it because it was really long, boring, and not that fun to edit. Either way, let me know if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. I'm interested in making one about which Mario 64 level is the most survivable for a real person. Either way, thanks, hope y'all had a fantastic day before, during, and after watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Cheers!